just got back from the flying field and had great fun. And I've now got in front of me here a cowl to replace the one that came with the model that I've been refurbishing. As you can see, the front's been totally removed, which obviously makes it easier to get to the engine, but it doesn't match the Flair DR1. Now, I got this cowl on recommendations actually from somebody who made a comment online. It's a British company, I believe the name's Carbon Copy. I've got no affiliation to them or anything. I was just very pleased with what I've got. Reasonable price. This is apparently a fibreglass cowl for the Hannibal Flair kit, but it's the same dimensions as the Flair DR1. And to demonstrate that, if I take this off, it's a perfect match. So what I'm going to do is mark around this existing, well, it helps if you get a pencil, doesn't it? It doesn't matter. Pause while I get one. Let's try that again. So if I draw this round, this basically is the one that's currently fitted. I may alter the pieces here, and here is the approximate position for the air holes and the boss for the engine, which makes it like a smiley face, doesn't it? So if I take that off now, we've got that positioned. I'm going to cut this out and put it on and mark it out. I'll do that now, then we'll come back. I've cut this out, and what I'm going to do is stick it on. And then the next job will actually be to drill these out and to cut this out, and that's going to be a job that I'll do. It might even be tomorrow now when I come back, this next part of the video, because I've got other things to do. But there you go. That looks a bit more DRY like, doesn't it? DR1 like. So we'll cut that out. Then I'll cut these holes out and we're getting nearer to the finished item. It's time to cut this out. Hopefully it won't be too nerve-wracking. I've got the paper template on. I made a little bit of a mess of it trying to trace it through, but never mind. I'm going to chain drill the small holes out here first, before I cut this area out. And the reason for that is I want it to be as rigid as possible while I'm cutting these out. It gently does it, basically. A little bit nerve-wracking, obviously, but here goes. There we go. That's that out. And now I'm going to go to sanding drum. Just carefully does it. Happy with that. I'll repeat the same for these. I'll do that off camera, just get it done quickly, and then we'll cut this out using a slitting disc. As you can see, these have now been cut out. I'll do the fine sanding to get them absolutely spot on by hand. I'm going to cut this area out now, but what I will do, I'll drill into the corner, because this is a bit where it'll need a little relief from the stress, I think. So I'll drill that. And swap over to a slitting disc. I had contemplated doing using the existing aluminium cowl and putting a plate on the inside, but the work involved would have just been onerous. So here we go. I'm not attempting to get it spot on at this stage, I just want to cut out. Now this will be a little bit more awkward because I have to hold it and it's quite flexible. Seems fairly painless up to now. Famous last words, as they say. And there we go. And that's all but it. There's the cowl. Right, I'm going to take this off. I'll have to soak it off because I've put it on my Pritt stick. And then we'll get it cleaned up and then we'll try it up against the fuselage, and then we'll look at how I'm going to transfer the locating points on the fuselage. Let's try this on then, see what it looks like. It needs a little bit of fine fettling, but here goes. Well, doesn't that look the business? Now I just need to transfer the locating marks on. I may have to sand the back of this to get it to sit flat, but that looks looks like a drunken man at the minute. There you go, that's better. That doesn't look bad at all. Sort of finishes it off, doesn't it? So, I need to fettle this to get it to sit right, because it's not quite sitting right at the moment. Needs a little bit of work there. It's sitting square there, which I'm happy with. I think I can get away with just a little bit being taken off this left hand side, but that's certainly an improvement on the open aluminium cowl. I think this has come off a Hannibal Flair. It's been cut down. There you go. Let's do the transferring now and see how it sits. Now, to transfer the screws to hold this on, what I'm going to do is put a bit of tape in the appropriate place for each block, and then I'll transfer that position onto the cowl, which I can drill out to take a small screw. I think I may, if I've got them, I may add some rivets around this part, because I have seen them on some of the photographs, they're visible. I think it would be a nice feature to add. It depends whether I can put my hands on them, you know. Being the untidy worker that I am, the workshop isn't the neatest. If I can find them, I'll do it. If I can't, I'll probably find them later on. So I'll put these tapes on. And then the idea is, I'm going to put this on. There you go. Now I need to line it up and make sure that it looks horizontal. The engine is slightly off, to be honest with you, so that's causing a bit of a visual effect with it. Start with this one. And what I'm going to do is just drill and screw one at a time and work my way around, making adjustments as I go. So first one, I'll drill in here, we'll screw that in, and then I'll work my way around it. Well, there we have it, job done. From what I can see, there is some sort of strapping that goes around here, I presume, to hold the cowl on. I'll have to simulate that. I will do a little bit more research on the rivets that I've seen going around here and see if I have some small enough. But that makes a big difference. I hope you can see that too. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm only kick off the bum to hitting 3,000 subscriptions, so if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Get out flying if you can, and if you can't, let's get creative.